Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's so good to have you guys today. And so today I'm going to be making a very simple style of fascinator. I'll be making use of my Sinamay today. I won't be making use of my crinoline. So the materials you'll be needing are your scissors, your pair of scissors, my thread, my needle, my feathers, my glue gun, my Alice band, and of course my Sinamay. So stay tuned guys, and I do hope you'll enjoy this video. The first thing I did was to cut out a small piece of Sinamay from what I have here. I actually didn't use a measuring tape, or didn't even bother to measure, but you might want to use a measuring tape if you're an amateur. The idea of making this just popped up in my head, and I said, why not? I can make this. So this is what I cut out from my Sinamay. It's quite lengthy, so you might want to use a measuring tape to get a very long length and a very small breadth. You take your piece of Sinamay that you've cut out and fold it into two equal halves. And then I made use of a technique I usually make use of when tying gele. Display this on the fabric or materials I'm going to be tying, and using that to measure out a few inches. So I'm going to be folding right where my thumb is. I'm going to be folding it at that point. And then adjust it. This looks too short and the other too lengthy, so I'll be adjusting it to like get my desired length respectively. Now that I've gotten my desired length respectively, I then will cut it out. Once I'm done cutting it, I then pick up the smaller piece of Sinamay and then fold. You folding it into two equal halves will help you a lot better. Pick up one of those halves and then fold it in. Make sure both sides are equal. Once you're done folding it, try as much as possible to stretch out your Sinamay in order to increase its length, and then repeat the same folding technique with the other one. So the next thing for me to do now is to go press both of them with my hot steam iron. So guys, I'm done ironing them out, and this is looking so good. They're so flat and thin, and you won't have them coming or unfolding. So off camera, I tried making the strips flexible enough, And then I'm going to pick up the first, the smaller piece. With this, I'm going to be creating an S shape. So guys, watch me how I form this letter S. The difference between this letter S and the letter S you and I are familiar with is that this one comes together at the middle. So you're going to be joining everything, holding everything in place like this. I hope I'm doing well in the explanation. And with the other piece of Sinamay, I then create loops. Like I said, guys, I just thought about doing this. This is my first time doing it, and the idea just popped up in my head. The last thing I want to have is SS, so I'll keep on adjusting it and making sure both sides are equal, the sizes are equal. The next thing to do is to tack them down with my needle and thread. I'm going to be going in with my needle and thread to sew it down right at that point where my thumb is. And I'm sure you'll be wondering why can't she make use of a glue gun? Trust me when I say it's a lot safer and better to make use of a needle and thread to sew whatever you want to do or whatever you want to tack down, most especially when you're making use of Sinamay. It's better. You can use both at the same time. You can, but I think it's safer to make use of a needle and thread. Once I'm done sewing that, I then pick up the second piece and then sew them all together. So guys, I'm done sewing them all together and this is what it looks like. This is so beautiful. Remember I said I wanted something simple, and this is beautiful. Now for the feathers, remember I said they're optional. I might make use of them or not. I'm going to first of all finish up with my fascinator, see how it looks, then I'll then decide if I want to add my feathers to it or not. So let's see how it goes. Now to attach my Alice band to my fascinator, I'll be making use of my bias. I've cut out a small piece of bias and I'm going to be making use of my glue gun to glue it to my Sinamay. So for this part, you have to be careful when making use of your glue gun. You don't want the glue staining your fascinator. So I'm going to be putting little quantity of it on my bias strip. This is looking so beautiful, guys. I am just so happy with the result. This is what I pictured and it's so beautiful.